Races, ladies and gentlemen, we have a hell of a live stream going on today, hell of a Twitter space, whatever you want to call it. The tweet is pinned to the top. Definitely go and grab that tweet and check us out on YouTube. We're on video here, streaming and have a good time. But I'm like wildly excited for this space. I'm really excited to have this group on just because like I feel like the energy between all of us is just like fun and like it's just going to be a great vibe. So I'm thrilled to have you guys on today. At the top right, we got Will, EternalPepe, the Magic Man. He does a little bit of collecting here and there. And then we also have Moonlight Media on the bottom right, Sierra. Check her out at Moonlight Sierra on Twitter. A wonderful artist of a number of different mediums. And we also have our king Alimo on the bottom left, who is still has his Solitude Safari show out in Brooklyn at Illegal Mezcal right now, wrapping up shortly. So definitely go check that out before the month ends, or before September 6th, I believe. But so excited to have you guys on. Alamo, let's talk about that show, man. September 6th, the wrap up date. How has the show been? What's closing thoughts, etc.?
The show's been amazing. I mean, it was supposed to end of July, and then they ended up extending it a whole extra month and some change. But yeah, the feedback's been incredible. I haven't been there every single weekend, and when they're open on Saturdays and Sundays, I'll just randomly.
I think we lost Alamo.
And then random on folks buying merchandise.
No, we got you back. You run for a second.
Can you not hear me?
Back. No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, where did I cut off?
Oh, last thing I heard you say is merchandise. But dude, the merch that you had at the show is like sick. I remember it was just like it was your logo in the top left, right? And then there was like a larger, you had some like larger visuals of the paintings on the back.
Yeah, so I took a couple of the paintings that I did for the show and then created some t-shirts out of it, little memorabilia piece.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was good to catch Will there. Will and I were grabbing drinks after, waiting for you to like free up from talking to people.
I've mentioned it a couple of times, but it felt like a wedding where I was just saying hello, hi to all these people. And then my close friends I barely said hello to. And then after the show is when I got to kind of recoup and relax a little bit and celebrate. So yeah, it was really, really fun. Monumental for me.
I hear that, man. Sierra, I feel like I haven't seen you in so long. I think Will feels the same. Tell us, what have you been up to?
I know. I'm upset I missed you at the Alamo show. I went a different day and I got a nice little smelly, what do they call it? A car freshener in my car now that I get to see Alamo's.
Oh yeah, the air fresheners.
Hey, what? You had like Alamo air fresheners?
Oh yeah, that merch.
I miss the Alamo air fresheners.
I got like a 6-pack. I can give you one next time I see you.
Oh, I'm down.
But I don't know. I've been busy. I just it's been kind of a weird summer, a lot of changes, but just rolling with it. And I've been working like so much. My regular job is crazy. Graphic design's been super busy. Gearing up for like Halloween and Christmas, where I have like a lot of work. So I've just been grinding, and I'm looking forward to like the next IRL thing. We'll be able to catch up there.
Let's go. What happened to Rambo, your dog, in the back? Is he still there?
He is. He's still
cooling.
And my bed is like barren right now. It's a guest room, so I'm actually having an NFT friend come to rent the room for a couple of weeks. So I'm just prepping it, but yeah, he's holding it down for now.
That's so sweet. And you mentioned Halloween. Do you feel like I think that Halloween might be a cool creative like opportunity for you. I just feel like the Halloween vibes you like might be able to roll with creatively. Are you looking forward to it on that front or other fronts?
I'm like a Halloween freak. Like it's like my favorite holiday. And last year I actually dressed up as one of my NFTs that I made. So that was fun. I was a zombie Barbie, and did like a little like collection on Tezos of zombie Barbies, and I actually was that. So who knows what this year will be.
I'm such a fan of your Let Them Eat Cake collection. I vote for that.
Oh, that's a great idea. Wow. Okay. Remind me of that like tomorrow. I have to build a dripping cake, cover myself in it. And yeah, that'll be fun. Cool.
In like a month and a half, yeah, I'll shoot you a text.
Okay.
Zombie Barbie would like kind of be on theme for like the Barbie movie though.
Yeah, I mean, see, I was ahead of the curve because I didn't even know Barbie was coming out. And it was actually funny though, quick story. Like I went to a Halloween party and I didn't know it was a theme. And it was basically like cult, devil, like the most darkest costume you could possibly come up with. Everyone had like that crazy weird beak and it was like so scary and freaky. And I did not get the memo for some reason. I just like went with my own theme and I showed up as like Barbie. Even though I had a zombie face, I was still like the only one in a color that wasn't black. And everyone was like kind of just saying like, oh, Barbie's here, the sacrificial lamb. Like it was like it was like out of a movie, I swear. But
well, I'm glad you made it past the sacrifice, and we
I
still
did,
get to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Will, talk to me, man. What have you been up to recently?
Grinding away at work, editing, but excited about the space. There's so much cool stuff going on, and I'm excited to be talking to you, Steven. Last time I saw you, where were we at? I guess it was a Station 3 event or something.
I saw you post Dave's Rolls auction.
Right at the daytime thing. That was great.
Yep. Yeah, and then I remember us chopping it up about MMA stuff.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
Another shared interest.
Always, man.
We got a lot of this stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff in common.
I think it was right before the Sugar Sean Aljo fight, which is why. And then Aljo got slept. But shouts out Aljo. He fights on Long Island. Really cool guy. Nonetheless, Will, on cool topics to talk about, Monument Game, man. I want to get your thoughts on everything going on there. We got, what is it? I think the votes or the winners come out tomorrow, right? The 31st.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm just regretting not just making the move on it. I had just gotten, you just mentioned rolls. I had just gotten like one of the rolls like right before that. So I was like, oh, it might be a lot to go both of these right in the same time. Mm-hmm. But now seeing what it like worked out to be, I regret not joining in because I think that's like that's probably the best. That's the best version of like a group NFT I've seen yet. Mm-hmm. That's like what the PFPs probably wanted to be and couldn't figure it out. And then having this like big interactive art project where everyone kind of gets to chip in, say their observation and get to be part of that. I think that's a big reason it sold out so quickly, even though it had a pretty high price point. And it's epic. And so I wish I'd gotten in on that, but it's looking great. And I can't wait to see like what the winning observations are.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see those three names as well. I was wondering though, have we seen anything like this in either the traditional art space or Web3? Something where like this many people are essentially like collaborating and contributing to a piece to determine any sort of outcome. I feel like it's almost the first time this has been done.
Absolutely. I think it is. I think traditional art never had this. The cool thing about Web3 and all the NFTs is that the traditional art space never had these like interactive kind of mechanics where you can combine things, build things, put observations into a piece and have them like locked in forever on the blockchain. And it's just amazing, And so it's like taking art to this next level, this next, it's like communal art now, and that is something that, I mean, I guess in traditional art, there were people that would like start a painting and then let other people come in and paint on it as well. But this is like times 1,000,
Yeah, absolutely. Like we've definitely seen the collabing, but I feel like it's also, it's cool to see the system of record, right? Even on a painting, like you may know the names that have collaborated on it, but I don't know if I've personally seen something where like this many people have collaborated on one particular piece, and it like gotten this much attention. At the same time, it's cool to just like have that system of record, right? Where everybody can like go back and see everyone else's observations. I think that's just such an awesome concept. And just like shout out to the whole team who pulled that together. I think just like Sam Spread himself and like Rachel, but like Nifty Gateway, I think they've done like a fantastic job just like with that website and everything else, their support there. So it just feels like a lot of creative minds came together to launch something absolutely massive, and it's cool for us to watch it have come to fruition now. But another thing that I'm wildly jealous of is where Alimo has been hanging out. Dude, I'm watching your vacay pics. I'm looking at your vacay pics. Where is this?
What are you looking?
I'm
For my recent trip, or what are you thinking?
It's like the stuff that you've been posting, I think within the last week on X. Just like shots of like
last week I was in California last week at Lake Shasta, which is it's like Northern California, this monster lake. Yeah, it was a pretty good week. A few of my friends, they rent this huge houseboat, kind of invite a bunch of friends out, and it was a big party. This is massive, kind of feels like you're in kind of like a New Orleans casino, like Sternwheeler style. And yeah, it was kind of off the gram, off the internet, really the service, which was great, and kind of just wake surfing, skiing every day. It was awesome.
And gotcha. Just a heads up, you're rugging a little bit, man, like cutting in and out. But yeah, dude, no worries. Like caught the gist of what you said. I think it's interesting you said that it was kind of like like a New Orleans vibe a little bit in terms of just like the energy and
like the house, not the energy, but more of just the look and feel of being on a big lake, and
Gotcha.
the size of the boat really felt like you were.
Yeah, I think we lost you again.
It was insane. So much fun.
Definitely like love the environment that you were in. I'm sure you've gotten a good amount of surfing in too since the solo show, or since you headed home.
Sorry, I just turned off the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're actually crystal clear now.
Okay, awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, what was the last thing you said?
Oh yeah, have you gotten a good amount of surfing in since you left New York?
I got some in when I was in New York, which was nice, and then a little when I got back, and then honestly, the majority of it was at that lake. So the main goal was to be back home, see some trees, get away from any city that I could imagine, and be in as much water as possible. So that was achieved, and then got to hang out with family and friends, and it was good. Just overall, really nice reset, which I really need about once a month. And then after this last show, it's been a good kind of month and a half of really kind of shutting things down, and really just resetting and new ideas for upcoming projects, because it takes so much out of you, and can't just be pumping out every single day. Like, at least for my style, I really need to chill out. And so without the nature vibes and having that reset, there's nothing that gets developed. So it's a yin and yang for me.
I hear that, man. And like it's cool to see you enjoying that, just because I remember leading up to your show, like the level of focus that you had, and you were locked in.
Dude, that was insane. I mean, when a project starts, I am kind of locked in, right? Like, that focus is pretty high, and I need that, because if I don't have those goals and those kind of purposes and reasons, then I am lost. And so for those reasons, I am like working hard and then making sure that I play extra hard, again, to balance everything out.
Oh yeah.
And also, just Twitter is kind of crazy on how often everybody lives on it, and so it kind of drives me a little crazy. And so making sure that I step away.
I hear that, man. I give you the Touch Grass Award of the Year from those pictures. I think you
honestly, this past year and a half has been less than I have ever had. And so it's usually like 4 times as much. And so, yeah, it's thank you, but there needs to be more.
I hear that. Want to throw this to both you, Alamo, and Sierra. What is the project or like time in your art career where you feel like you've maintained like the deepest level of focus? I'm wondering, Alamo, if it's Solitude Safari for you, and then like curious as to what it would be for you too, Sierra.
For me, it was a show.
Losing you a little bit again, man.
I got the green light for it. It was full heads down focus. Yeah, the most challenging project I've had to date.
Let's go, dude. You nailed that. But what about you, Sierra? You're on mute, just a heads up.
Yeah, sorry. That's a good question. I feel like probably my 2059 collection was, I spent a lot of time just kind of like narrowing my focus onto that. And I don't know, I'm kind of like hyper focused on anything I put my mind to. It's kind of like maybe it's like a OCD perfectionist thing. I don't know. But yeah, that was a project that like I wanted to like see from beginning to end and promote it right and just, run spaces and all that. And it was a lot of work, but it did really well. So I would say that one was probably the what was the question again?
I think the question was like, what was like the project or like time in your art career where you felt like you maintained the deepest level of focus? And you're saying 2059.
Okay. Well, maybe in the NFT space. Yeah. But I think like building my business was in my art career. That was like the most level of focus because I had to, find clients and put my portfolio together and everything. But I don't know. It's like lately it's kind of felt like my focus gets pulled in a lot of different directions because there's like Alamo said, there's so much going on Twitter. X, sorry, I'm still not used to calling it that. And there's all these open calls and there's all these submissions and stuff. So it can get very easy to get distracted lately. I feel like that wasn't really a thing, a year ago or a year and a half ago, as much as it is now. But yeah, I try to stay focused on everything that I do the best that I can. Sorry, it's kind of a lame answer.
No, it's not a lame answer. I was trying to just pin up a 2059 tweet. That's but I couldn't dig
probably far back there.
Yeah, no, I also on that collection though, I think that collection is sick. It's like I remember us covering it on a previous Twitter space together, but it's like essentially like robots being like adopted into like human society, and instead of humans like shunning them, it's like them allowing them at the family round table and kind of like accepting them and making them a part of their lives in like a positive, productive way.
Yeah, it's like kind of special to me because I made it when AI just started becoming really mainstream. And there was a lot of fear and questioning, what is AI going to do? How is it going to affect our lives? And I wanted to like switch the narrative around and have people envision, if AI was just like readily adopted into our lives with like, no question, like there's just robots doing laundry with us or just sitting on the subway with us or, sitting at our dinner table, which essentially we already have because like our smartphones are robots and they sit with us all the time. You know what I mean? But that it was like a pivotal moment in the art scene where this new thing was coming in. And I felt like that was like a really special collection for me at that time. And now.
Yep, I just pinned it up on Twitter. I was trying to like share a screen on.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Oh, well. Did you guys hear me queue up my I hit the YouTube like play button on the live stream for like a split second and I heard myself and I was like tripping out. I was like, how are two of me speaking at once?
Yeah, there's actually a clone of you.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I did when I got my ancestry DNA done, I did like check off the box that allows them to like keep my DNA for further like research or reference if I ever want to reference back to it. And when I did so, I felt like they could definitely make a clone of me.
Oh yeah, we're all screwed.
It's already been done.
What if a clone Steven hosts a live stream with real Steven? That would be crazy. Inception.
Dude, yeah. Inception, Black Mirror, all of it. I'm all for it. Everything already feels so real. And if it's on that path, want to or not. So you're probably there, man.
Not too far off. On that though, I want to ask Will. Like, I feel like we just named some like cool movies and shows. Dude, you being in film, what are some of your favorite movies and shows?
I mean, I love science fiction movies, you know, and so like Space Odyssey, everything Stanley Kubrick, obviously Space Odyssey. I am like a huge Philip K. Dick fan, and he has he was like one of the most famous science fiction writers. So he also has the title of most of his novels being adapted to movies. So like Blade Runner and Minority Report, Total Recall. Those are all movies based on his books, and Scanner Darkly. And I love seeing how different filmmakers adapted the different books. And so I do like the films that stuck closer to the books than ones that like are very distant. Like Blade Runner's actually nothing like the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep that it's based off of. And most of the movies also changed the endings. Specific Minority Report as well. So what's that?
Do you think they do that so that way they don't seem like they're ripping off the book? Or do you think they do that just because like creatively it takes on its own vision?
I think they do it because they think it's like better for film. Oh, if we did it this way, it's going to be more cinematic.
Exactly.
You know? And sometimes that's right. Sometimes I don't think it is.
In your film career, what are you most like? Is there a project that you're most proud of?
Well, I have a bunch of short films, science fiction short films that I made that I'm proud of, that you can see on my website, which is called valspictures.com. And in terms of my working career, it's like reality television, you know? So I work on a show called 90 Day Fiance. So I've edited like a bunch of really classic 90 Day scenes that I'm very proud of. And if you're not a 90 Day fan, you're not going to know them. So I'm not going to like Moonlight. Sierra looks like she is a fan.
I did not know this. We have talked so many times. How did I not know this?
How's it going to come up? I don't bring it up. I don't bring it up in NFT events.
I have so many questions. Oh my God.
Fire them off.
Pandora's box.
Who's your favorite character? And I'll tell you if I worked on them or not.
Oh my God, that's a tough one. Okay. I really not okay. Favorite, like, and I like them, or they're cringe, so I like them.
Well, cringe. We're always going for cringe on the show. So
Darcy, hands down.
Oh yeah, okay. So I just did Darcy and Stacy show, the most recent one. And for people who don't know who Darcy is, Darcy was like a tragic figure on 90 Day Fiance. And for people who don't know what 90 Day Fiance is, sorry to go on such a tangent here. This is not like Web3 stuff.
Great, keep going.
Okay. Yeah. So 90 Day Fiance, the premise of it is that a person from a foreign country comes over to meet with their boyfriend or girlfriend in America, and there's something called the K-1 visa, where the person has 90 days. If they get engaged within the 90 days that they're visiting, then they're automatically like in line to get a green card. So
much pressure. Wow.
Yeah, and so like 90% of the couples are like a young foreigner taking advantage of an older American who's like just like looking for love, but it's not working out for them. And so Darcy was one of these older American characters that had a boyfriend for her first season, had a boyfriend coming over from the Netherlands and then from England the next season. And it was just so much crazy that she ended up getting her own television show with her twin sister, Stacy. And it's just it's train wreck TV and cringe TV, so we're always looking for like the most cringy moments to like really lean into. And she's a cringe machine, so she's very popular.
What about Angela? What's going on with Angela these days?
Oh yeah. And Angela, is a character who is just like this big sassy Southern woman, who just like had no filter. And she is currently on a spinoff called Last Resort. So you can see her still as well.
I have to open this Gatorade. You guys keep talking about 90 Day Fiance.
This is not Web3 related, so it's a little bit off subject. But yeah, so like there's not, I wish, some people hit the jackpot and have like careers that kind of like align with Web3 and NFTs and art in that way. And I wish there was more of an overlap. I can't tell anybody at work that I'm into crypto or NFTs or anything like that. They would just, I would be like, yeah, it'd be trouble. So I'm like kind of living a double life. I'm kind of living a double life here. Would you say, Alimo? You're rugging a little bit again, but when you come back,
dude, he's in such a happy pose though.
You rugged again while you were saying that, Alimo. What's up?
What? The internet's really good on my side.
We got you now. You're clear.
I was just saying that with the writer's strike, it's probably going to sync up here in the next couple of years. So you'll be well ahead.
Yeah, well, he rugged again, but the writer's strike is tough too. To keep talking about film and TV and stuff. The writer's strike, I have a bunch of friends that are just haven't been working for a long time. I'm in reality TV, so it doesn't affect us. So got lucky in that way. But like one thing that is very cool about NFTs is that like art NFTs, fine art, JPEGs, and like very short animations has been figured out, and it's just booming now. But like we still haven't reached the point where music and film NFTs blow up, and in what way they will. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. I was really like involved in a music NFT called oh my god, Soundgarden. Oh my god, Secret Garden. I'm drawing a blank. Actually, it's embarrassing right now. But I was a part of that. But their treasury was on FTX, and they got like taken out. But they had a cool idea about using different stems and then being able to like mint an NFT with the different stems you picked, and then film NFTs. The main guy that I see doing the best stuff with what I think is the film NFTs right now is Ben Meserick, who's kind of using the film NFTs to give you equity in his next project, actually, if you buy all three. And he's the writer who wrote Social Network and this Bitcoin Billionaires movie about the Winklevoss twins that's coming out soon. So I have a couple of those NFTs, and I'm like really looking to see how like film and music enter the space in the same way that the art has.
I think that's like one of the big value props of NFTs is like being able to, fine art was prior to NFTs was pretty restricted to just being stuff that was static. And now it's not. Now videographers have a chance to, and animators have a chance to like really display their work as fine art. It's cool to see what like DK is doing. And I think that because of file size restrictions, I feel like we haven't seen it in terms of like longer term films yet, but like really excited for it to get to that point and see how that ends up being monetized at the end of the day. But do want to kick it to something that I saw Sierra working on. Sierra, we have a mutual friend, Historic Crypto, who's killing it in strange history snaps all around. And saw you just listed a piece in like a newer, there's like another rendition that's on Object now that I was not familiar with. So can you tell us about your piece there and also just like the new alien rendition on Object?
Yeah, so Strange History has been such a fun, incredible community to be a part of. I was brought in, I don't know, like maybe 6 months ago, and Historic Crypto, who you mentioned, is like a huge history buff, and he's basically been having like this community that he's building create little snippets of history that either did exist, didn't exist, could exist, alternate realities. It's really fun, and it's not something I would normally create from my own brain. Like it's like I'm almost being, like, no pun intended, prompted to think about history and how I would create art to kind of like reflect that. And so we did we did a world on Foundation, and it was trending for months, and it was so great. Like the world is still so great. I bought from it. I've sold in it. It's like the OG world. And then we got brought to Super Rare through Sloika, and we did an alternate realities collection there. And that was really, really cool to be on Super Rare, but also like kind of imagine this scenario where if one thing changed, the world would be different. So again, gets me thinking in a way like differently than when I just sit down to create my own art. I'm not really thinking about history and things like that. And then today we launched on Object for the first time, and we were #2 trending collections. I think it was like 830 something Tez. It was right underneath #1, which is Hick and Nook. I can't say that. And they have like, they're always at #1 because that's like how it works. But we were at #2. I don't know where we are now, but it's been wild and it's really, really fun. The community's awesome. And everyone's just like super chill and weird, and, you know, like weird in the best way. Like we're just a bunch of nerds hanging out all day. So it's been really fun. I love Strange History, and I'm so sorry if I'm spamming Twitter about it, but it's exciting.
You're not. No, it's cool to see like the works that you come up with too, that you list like in the different, you know, world and then on the Super Rare space. It's just like, it's also cool to see the concept recreating itself on different platforms too. I've appreciated that. But can you tell us a little bit about First Supper? I just pinned it to the top of the Twitter space. I'll share it here on the live stream as well.
Yeah, so the theme was ancient aliens, and I wanted to think of a like art history background of the word ancient, right? Like the most ancient art piece going back, or which I don't really know exactly what it is, but I know The Last Supper is definitely up there as being one of the oldest oldest renditions of history, if that makes any sense. Sorry, I'm like looping in my brain. So I thought about it, and I was like, well, what if The Last Supper, we changed it to The First Supper, and it was actually these aliens, these ancient aliens, sitting down at the table to kind of discuss how the universe was going to pan out, and like how worlds were going to be formed and planets. And oh wow, what just happened? Oh, okay. Sorry. And yeah, so I wanted to change that The Last Supper into The First Supper. So that is the piece, and it's basically aliens from different galaxies sitting down to discuss the plans for the universe. And I think last time I checked, I sold 10. It was super fun to make, like just sitting there piecing together these like really horrific looking alien faces, and, you know, still trying to keep it on theme of the original, the Last Supper. But yeah.
So dope. It looks like a cover of like a movie. Like I want to go to AMC and like watch this movie now. But it fully has that vibe.
Will, can you help us make this a movie? So
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, come up with a plot for it. And no, I like Strange History. I started looking into it once I saw it on your Twitter feed. What I like about it is that it's about history, you know, and like maybe like alternative history and how history could have been different. But then like there's so many different pieces with aliens in it, which isn't exactly history, but it's like hilarious that like Strange History, it's like if aliens were in different historical things, you know. But know what I'm interested about? It's like you did this with AI though, right?
Yes.
But it sounds like you said putting them all in there. So what was your process like to make it? You were were all the aliens separately done or something like this, and then put in there? What was your process to put this all together?
So I use the in painting for this, which is like where I get the main basic idea of what I want, and then I can go in and like, you know, edit and change, and I did like probably 5 or 6 different renders of this, and then, you know, I didn't like one piece of it, so I'd take it in Photoshop and kind of mask things out, switch things around. Or then also like in Midjourney now there's like this new in painting feature, which is pretty cool. So I tried that out. It's like pretty new until I got it to look how I felt it was, ready to be done. And then there were some like kind of weird parts of it that I didn't want to make perfect, that they just like wanted to keep strange because it's strange history. So yeah, it was just a process of like what I felt looked good. And yeah.
I think it's a beautiful piece all around. I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if it was you, Alamo, or Sierra who said it, but I was like, can we have Will like make a movie about this? It just looks like it's in that like cool sci-fi genre for sure. And I think that speaks to like the energy that you were mentioning, Sierra, with like the people within it, kind of just like this like really cool, like out there, like extraterrestrial, but like also like weird, like almost like nerdy, but like in a cool sense. I feel like that's what some of this like stuff speaks to, and it's really cool to just see, as Will mentioned, just like some of the history reframed in different ways. There's a couple of pieces that like really stand out to me, particularly the one that I think has to do with alternate realities on Super Rare, where it's like the Cold War piece, as if the Soviets like won the Cold War and then like kind of took over Times Square. That piece is like
Yeah.
chilling.
That's a really good one. I think that was Lemoon. I'm not sure, but
I feel like it was Lemoon Synth, right?
yes. And
Yep.
just to clarify, the one on Object is strictly alien related. It's just ancient aliens. But on Foundation and on Super Rare, it's all different parts of history of like every decade or every year. So yeah.
How many pieces do you have across all of the different like curated collections now?
I think I have around 10.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get excited when you put like something new out and I see it on your X account, and I'm like, oh shit, more Sierra and Strange History.
I've been doing so much strange history lately, but it's just honestly, it's been so much fun. Like I feel like do something that makes you happy. If you're kind of like I need a lot of time to make my animations and stuff. And lately I've just been a little overwhelmed. So doing the strange history projects have just kind of like kept me in like that fun, happy space mentally until, I just like free up some time to like really work on my larger projects I have in mind. But it's been like such a great time to be a part of it.
Hell yeah. I know something else that I think is a great time. And I believe Alamo's leaving us to go to Korea. What do you got going on in Korea, man?
No, I mean, I wish I was going, but my work is shown in Korea next week.
Oh, gotcha. So your work's going. What's the
My work's
day?
going, yeah. Art Nation, that company, they picked a couple different artists and working over kind of the downtown. So I'll have two humongous pieces about 100 feet wide that will be playing out there for the next 5 days. So stoked. But I guess they will have massive. It's kind of like their Times Square version of it. But yeah, they'll have video and photos of it when it's done. So I can't wait to see it. I wish I was there. I really do. That would have been unreal to be invited to be out there. I just couldn't swing it.
Let's go. But I mean, still exciting to see your pieces there. Do you know, I assume you do, which pieces are displaying? Can you hear me?
Oh, you rugged or I rugged. Yeah, now we can.
Yeah, do you know which pieces you're displaying? Are they from Solitude Safari?
So they're not from Solitude Safari. They're actually from the Canal Street show back in April that Pepe and FDOT put on. But one of my buyers, Sendrock, he's the one that kind of helps. I think he's an advisor in the art innovation, or he's one of the people that kind of helps run it. And then the other is the Free Flow, which is this animation of the surfing one. So I chose the animation mainly because if it's on that big of a billboard, having that highlight and kind of eye capture, it was had to choose it.
Let's go.
So I can't wait.
On surfing, dude, where were you surfing in New York? Were you on Long Island or elsewhere? Can you hear me, Alimo?
Can you say that again? I couldn't hear you.
Oh yeah. Where were you surfing in New York? Were you on Long Island or elsewhere?
So it's pretty close. I'm out in Brooklyn, so it was about 45 minutes on the train, and then jump the train and you're right at the beach. Super easy. There is a bunch of other spots up north, but I haven't gone. I know the West Coast and all these other places in the world so well, and so New York is still very new for me on where to go.
I hear that. I could show you stuff in New York. I can't show you surfing spots in New York though. Will, do you surf by any chance?
Culture is very secretive, and so you got and then you try not to tell anybody, especially when it's good. It's a big no-no to ever post it on Instagram and share out the best spots.
I hear that.
Yeah, I actually have a friend that's a surfer down in Rockaway Beach. Yeah, and you said, and I think you might have rugged Alimo. It's Rockaway Beach where everyone surfs in New York, in Brooklyn. And I had no idea before I started hanging out with like these surfer dudes that there was a lot of surfing going on in New York City, but there is. And Rockaway Beach is one of the main spots. And yeah, I've been out there multiple times. It's called if you want to, if you're in New York and you want to like go have a day surfing, it's called Locals. And there'll be like some dudes that are out in the water, just like launching you on waves. Because actually, believe it or not, if you've never been surfing, it's very hard to catch a wave. It's like takes a lot of arm strength and timing, and it's hard to get up on the board as well, you know? So just to have guys there just like holding your board and like when the wave comes, launching you onto the wave, and then all you have to worry about is trying to get up. And that's hard enough, you know, before you have to even paddle into a wave. And so, yeah, so I've gotten up only a couple times. I've been like 3 or 4 times. I've only gotten up probably 3 or 4 times in those 3 or 4 trips, you know, but yeah, it's great. It's fun, you know, it's like a really great workout. So yeah, so you're gonna have to come, Steven.
The best. It is the best. Once you get hooked, you're done for life. When I was a kid, and it's changed my life, and I'll never look back.
Let's go. I liked Alimo's like hang 10. I felt like it was authentic coming from a surfer. Also, I forgot to mention to everybody in the audience, we are live streaming this to YouTube. So we're actually wrapping up like in 15 minutes, but definitely come check us out on the live stream video on YouTube as well as in the Twitter space. Come hang out with us and post comments here. Also want to encourage people, if you guys have questions for the wonderful creatives up here, definitely post them on either the YouTube live stream or respond to the Twitter space with them, and happy to cover them before we wrap up. But on the surfing front, I have done, what's it called? Is it wakeboarding where you like hold where like the boat tugs you and then you're on a surfboard and you like ride you like surf the wake of the boat?
Yeah, it's just wake surf.
So if I've wake surfed,
super fun.
Is there any like, what do you guys think my odds are of catching a wave and actually being able to stand on a board?
Completely different.
It's night and
completely
day.
Different.
Literally night and day. Yeah, it is. I mean, wake surfing, you're holding onto the rope like you mentioned. I mean, if you have a good boat, you can actually let go and surf. But you're using all of your hips, these like lateral movements of up and or side to side, and then kind of surfing. You're doing a little more pivoting and kind of trying to be more like dancing on the wave. So it's much different, like stiff versus like being incredibly relaxed. Both very fun. Surfing in the ocean is way harder, hands down.
What's up,
question?
Yeah. So I go to Rockaway like twice a week just to sit on the beach. And I was there about a week and a half ago. And obviously, like no one was allowed to swim because of the shark attack. I actually got on Channel 7 ABC News, and they interviewed me about the shark drones. That was my
Oh,
famous.
no way.
Yeah, I was just like getting ready to go on, and they were like, "Hey, ma'am, can you tell us what you think about the shark drones?" I'm like, "The shark drones? What the hell is that?" And they explained that they have drones overhead to watch for the sharks now. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, those shark drones. You know, those things are great." Like I had no idea, but I wanted to ask, like, does that deter you guys from surfing?
Nah.
Okay.
No.
I mean, it
I
certainly
mean-
helps over the years. I mean, there's more. I kind of only got half of that question or response, but
No, do sharks does the presence
just
of
more
sharks?
technology now to see sharks, but there has always been sharks. That's a always thing.
In Rockaway Beach, though, I feel like it's very rare for there to be a shark that close to the beach.
I thought so too. I always thought the Northeast was like too trafficky and like polluted for like sharks to be around. But supposedly like around Massachusetts, it's like a haven for great whites.
It's the time of the year. The water temperature in Florida is like 100 degrees, and so every shark is really going towards where they're getting a little bit colder water. Even though it's still quite warm here, it's still there's like interesting migrations that is very new in the past couple years, I'd say.
Okay, so the consensus is it does not deter you. Okay, interesting.
It's tough. I mean,
no,
like,
I mean, I've been in the water a ton of times with sharks. That's just how it is.
Well, yeah, that's a good question about like
if
you're doing something.
Feeling.
Yeah, that's a good question though about like, you know, what level of danger before it deters you from doing something, you know? And yeah, when we go to the beach with my wife, like she does not want to get into the water if she even sees like a crab or something like that. And you know, you can miss out on a lot of fun, you know, like I don't know. There's actually I was at the last time I was at the beach swimming at Jones Beach, I got dumped on my shoulder and tore my labrum. So it's like getting dumped from a wave is almost more likely to hurt you than getting bit by a shark. But yeah, getting bit by a shark would be horrific. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel
well,
like
the thing is
if
the waves are really good, it's really hard to tell yourself no, even if you know something's out there. And similar with like in the backcountry snowboarding, it's like something could be really good, but you know an avalanche is going to happen. So you have to really be critical on so many different things, on making sure that you're with the right group of people that aren't pushing you in the wrong way. So that's similar with surfing. It's like it could be really intense and you got to make sure you know your limits, or, you know, see the shark, which you really can't.
Alimo, does the risk that you take in your sporting life zen you out a bit because you feel like you've like conquered some extremes? So like in your daily life, you're just like, there's no fear. Like I'm just chilling, just because I feel like you're so calm, but it's like cool that you take these crazy risks on the backcountry, on the snowboard slopes or in the water.
I mean, I've been doing it since I was a kid on all these sports. And so I think my normal is different than your normal. And so what looks like something is really crazy is quite calculated. And so I do know all those limits, at least my limits. But as far as the Zen part, I don't know. I think that's just West Coast, and that's just how my upbringing is.
Can you do any cool snowboard tricks, man?
I mean, I used to compete twice a week for my entire life, so that was a huge part of my life growing up. And so, yeah, I do know I'm definitely skilled in that front for sure.
Can you do like a backflip?
I kind of, yeah, for sure. I don't do those as often anymore because the majority of it is kind of split boarding and more mountaineering in the backcountry. But growing up, yeah, that was a huge part of my life. Kind of decided and went to college for art school to make sure that I can continue that for the rest of my life, to get completely beat up.
Gotcha. Copy that. I feel like, Will, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say that the danger makes it more fun too.
Oh no.
I'm
In
in.
some cases.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I feel like if that's how like you go, at least you like went enjoying yourself to the fullest extreme. Sierra's shaking her head. No,
It's
Sierra,
my happy place. That's for sure.
What's the most what's the most dangerous thing you've willingly done, Sierra?
That is such a good question. I feel like
I was thinking the same thing.
I've done a lot of dangerous stuff. Well, okay. You know,
Bungee jumping or skydiving or what? Like
I have sky dove.
Okay, see, so I wouldn't do that. I'm not doing skydiving. Like that's too much danger for me. So you already got me there.
I don't know. Walking down the street at night in my neighborhood seems like the most dangerous thing I've ever done because lately we've been having these rats that are like as big as my dog, and I feel like that's a danger.
Well, your dog's Rambo though. Does Rambo like back you up? Does he defend you against the rats?
No, he's scared shitless. We're all so scared. They're just like they come in these packs, like all of a sudden. It's crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to like deter the conversation from danger to rats, but I just like I just feel like living in New York, like every day, it's like you never know what's gonna happen. So it's like the same as going in shark-infested waters, you know?
Yeah,
that is
it might be dangerous in the shark waters.
So
it might be
many of them.
You're right.
I think one of my favorite things about New York is that like nothing feels like too big or like catches you off guard after leaving New York because it's like we've seen it all.
Yes.
I think we have a little seaside event coming up. I think Sierra and I are gonna have to surf for the first time, and everybody's just gonna have to laugh at us as we like crash into the water and get eaten by sharks.
We should live stream that on YouTube.
Down, so down. We'll catch our first wave while live streaming, and we'll just like we'll prove the haters wrong because they said that us wake surfing doesn't mean we could actually surf.
Place your bets now, people.
Who do you guys get? Who do you guys got to get up first, Sierra or me?
Sierra.
Wow, thanks.
Just check.
Alan,
Sierra.
I have surfed before. I have to say, I have. It
I
wasn't
haven't
great.
surfed.
Oh, then you for sure then. For real then.
It is
You're
really
great,
hard
man.
though. I'm not the most balanced person, you know, like I've snowboarded, I'm not great at it. I've tried to skateboard, also not great. It's like that balance when you have to turn your body, you know. I always want to go straight. Like when I snowboard, I end up like going down a little bit and then I stop and then I go down. I don't trust myself enough to go like sideways the whole time. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's like a fear.
I'm a waterbender from like Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I'm just gonna cheat and I'll bend the water to surf. Nonetheless, that's my last useless comment of the day. We are coming up on time. We have 5 minutes left, so I want to give you guys a moment to just share stuff you're working on, last closing statements, things with the group, etc. So we'll kick it over to Will first. Will, any last things you want to share?
No, it's a great thanks for having me. It's been a great time. I don't think I'm gonna like the Station 3 event you said I'm probably not gonna be able to make it there that weekend. It's a tough weekend for me, but I'm excited for the next ones coming up. We got to figure out an event. We're just possibly coming with like I want to do more events. You know, I've been talking with some people, with Eric or FDOT and others, and trying to get something going for December, maybe. Definitely already planning NFT NYC 2024. Just tracking all the cool projects coming out. That's it, man. It's been great. You know, it's like this is the perfect time in NFTs right now because the only people around are like the ones who are going to really be sticking with it. There's a lot of good deals out there. There's a lot of good building, you know. Everyone who blows up in the next bull run is going to be people that we're building right now, you know? And so, it's just great. It's just a great moment, even though it's tough and down. And if we can just make it through it to the next bull market, everyone's going to be good.
Wise words of the magic man, EternalPepe, aka Will. We should put some like really cool cinematic sci-fi effect on that. But we'll kick it over to Sierra next for any closing words.
Some things I have in the works. I'm working on a collaborative performance art piece actually with Doc T in the space, and that's going to be really interesting, cool, different. I have a lot of ideas of things that I want to work on, and like I said before, I've just been really busy. So if you follow me here and we're friends, like you'll know about it when it's happening. But yeah, right now I've just kind of been doing strange history collaborations and just staying present in space and working and trying to enjoy the rest of what summer is left. And yeah, I'm super excited for the beach party. That'll be dope. Oh, and I actually was talking to FDOT the other day, and I want to plan an event for NFT NYC as well. So
Let's talk.
We'll have to put our brains together for that. But
We can do it.
Good ideas. So
let's go. I was going to pencil you guys in because like you're all planning events. So I was going to pencil in Sierra for Halloween, Will and Eric effed up for Christmas because you guys are thinking December, and then you guys could run a few NFT NYC events, and then like I don't have to look at my calendar. Like you guys just plan my whole life.
We got you.
So I'm down. But awesome, and we'll kick it over to Alimo. Any last words, man?
Well, I mean, thanks for having me. I'm sorry that I kept running, so I don't know if you guys heard any, but I was talking for a little bit. Everything's been really fun, good chat with you guys. These events you guys are talking about, I would love to be a part of those. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I mean, work for me, it's, the show's ending, and so really just really enjoying this last bit of summer, closing out the solo show, and then I've been working on about two bigger collections that I can get, and then I have a couple smaller drops that will be coming up, and one is early October with Noble, and then a few others that I'll be sharing out. So definitely follow on Twitter and all those good channels to see. Like Sierra said, that's kind of where the know is. So if you want to see the project, that's where we drop all the stuff, is on that space. So yeah.
Let's go. Dude, you were mentioning summer before, and I feel like you could totally design just like a clothing brand by the seasons, like something kind of outdoorsy. I feel like your eyes on that would be absolutely sick.
Oh, I have lots of clothing, my friend. If you go to Alimo, there's plenty of that on there.
Let's go. I'll be giving it a gander after this. Sierra, also, I saw you recently collab with Swati. I think you were like modeling for her.
Yes, I did. We did a shoot in LA a few months ago, and she's such an amazing photographer. Like it was incredible. It was freezing, even in LA, but we were outside, and yeah, I'll leave it at that.
She's jumping on tomorrow. I meant to ask you about it earlier, but I'll cover it with her tomorrow. Yeah, she's jumping on. We got a cool photography space coming up.
Oh, so she'll definitely share it. Yeah, I'll let her speak about it. It was her vision. I just
what photographer?
Swati Chakraborty. Photos by Swati on X. So definitely go check her out. Also want to tell everybody in the space to check out the wonderful creatives we got up here at Pepe Eternal on X, at Moonlight Sierra on X, and at Alimo Fun on X. While you're at it, you could also follow at Eminent Fine Art too. That would be cool.
Definitely follow Eminent Fine Art.
And also check out our newsletter in our bio. We're writing about a lot of wonderful artists in the New York City area and just in the Web3 art space in general. Really trying to promote it and document some really cool narratives that are going on. So want to encourage everybody to keep an eye on these creatives and their work and the wonderful stuff that they got coming up. And we'll call it a wrap, guys. Thanks everybody for jumping on.
Hey, thanks, Steven.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.
See you guys.
All right, we are off air.
Great job.